Welcome to the Support is Sexy podcast. I'm your host, Elaine Fluker, executive coach for high-performing women. Join me for inspiring conversations with over 500 women leaders around the world as they share how they excelled in their careers or launched successful businesses and the important role that support played along the way. Because as we always say, having it all does not mean doing it all alone. Here we go. Hi there, it's Elaine Fluker. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Support is Sexy podcast. You know, it just wouldn't be the same without you. Today, we're welcoming back a friend of the show, Stephanie Morimoto, CEO and owner of Asutra. If her name sounds familiar, it's because she last joined us on November 24th, 2020, episode 751, and so much has evolved since then. Here's the vibe for this one. Stephanie is a masterclass in leading and living on your terms. She loved Asutra's products so much, she bought the company. Since then, she's teamed up with Venus Williams, taken Asutra to QVC, sellout segments, and shifted from big box retail to a smart mix of QVC, Amazon, and a rapidly growing direct-to-consumer business, powered by a small but mighty team. Most importantly, we get real about self-care on your terms, the tiny, doable rituals that add up. 5 intentional breaths between meetings, going to bed 15 minutes earlier, even giving yourself permission for a quick power nap. We also talk about why magnesium has become a staple in so many routines, and the silk sleep mask that landed on Oprah's favorite things. If you're an entrepreneur, leader, or high achiever who wants to scale without burning out, this episode is for you. You'll hear how Stephanie plays to her strengths as a 10 to 100 builder, how she structures a lean team with expert partners, and how listening closely to customers fuels both community and growth. As always, links to Asutra and everything we mention are in the show notes. All right, take a deep breath, maybe spritz a little lavender, and let's get into it. Here's my conversation with Asutra's CEO, Stephanie Morimoto. So today I am joined by the wonderful, fantastic, fabulous, just from vacation looking gorgeous, Stephanie Morimoto. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here with us on Support is Sexy.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be back, Elaine.
To be back. I know. Our last conversation was back on, I will tell you, November 24th, 2020.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And I know it was episode 751, and I'm up to about 825, I think is the last one I just posted.
Nice.
So a lot of time has passed. A lot has changed in the world. Oh my gosh. First of all,
That's an understatement.
An understatement. Exactly. I'm trying to keep it. Yes. I'm trying to not go off the deep end here. A lot has changed in the world. But let's talk about how your company, Asutra, has also evolved over the last 5 years and what you're excited about these days. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Excellent. So first, speaking of change of times and evolution, I think since the pandemic, people are definitely talking, I don't know if you'll agree, a lot, at least talking a lot more about self-care. I want to believe we're all more committed to or investing in our self-care. I notice, I'll say among my own focus group, which is my chat group, as most people are my girlfriends, right? We all talk about self-care a lot more serious about it and making sure that each other take it a lot more seriously. And I know self-care is obviously very important to you and to the brand also, Sutra. But I want to ask you, what does self-care on your terms mean? I know that's a term that you all use.
Yeah, it's been such an interesting journey to your point in the last 5 years, because I think we all went through something that was so traumatic with COVID and everything that happened in 2020. And I don't feel like we as a country really processed everything that happened, right? We just kind of went back to doing things the way that we were doing before. But you see how not processing that, I think, shows up in everyday life for a lot of people in not always the best ways. So, for me, as you know, Asutra is such a personal journey for me. I had worked in a lot of corporate jobs, nonprofit jobs, did not do a good job of taking care of myself. So I burnt out. And that's really what led me to Asutra. I was on a journey of learning how to take care of myself the right way, mind, body, and soul, right? How do I have more peace and balance? How do I have more sleep and movement and hydration? How do I do things that really feed my soul and bring me joy? And I had to learn how to do all of those things because that wasn't what I was prioritizing before. I was prioritizing being perfect, achieving everything I could at work. And so it was a huge mindset shift. And, through trial and error, I learned the things that worked for me. One of the many things that I incorporated into my life was Asutra. So I had discovered Asutra's yoga mat cleaning sprays on Amazon. I used those to clean my mat because yoga became a big part of my life and more movement. And then I also discovered Asutra's magnesium oil spray, which is a body spray that helps with replenishing your energy levels, restoring your magnesium levels, just helping you recover after exercise, get a great night's sleep. Oh, so many good things, magnesium. And that discovery and incorporating those products into my own self care routine led me to ultimately buy the brand. I love the product so much that I bought a Sutra. And as we started talking to more of our customers who are using our products, what we realized is everybody has a different routine, right? Everyone has different needs. Maybe you have chronic pain. Maybe you're a pregnant person or a recent parent. Maybe you're an older person and you have arthritis. Maybe you're a marathon runner and you need to make sure that your muscles are limber for your training. There's so many different things. Or maybe you just want to do something small every day that helps you recenter or calm down after something stressful. So all of that led us to say at Asutra, like, how can we make sure that we're providing the best products, botanically based formulations that really work to help people relieve pain, get better sleep, and improve their mood so that people can combine those products, combine their practices, combine their rituals in ways that really make sense for them to feel better and do the things they love. So that's ultimately what we're about at Asutra in terms of self-care on your own terms. What are the things you need to do to feel your best so you can do the things you love and have joy in your life?
And I think that's such a great way to look at it because sometimes this might sound weird to people who do practice self care regularly, but sometimes it can be intimidating if you think self care needs to look like this, a spa day every week or whatever it is, right? We all talk about the spa day, the mani-pedis, which people kind of limit that to what self-care looks like. But it can look a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different ways, a lot of different times. Sometimes it's you're going really hard and you are busy. You don't have time for things. And then you take 2 weeks off in between and go on vacation. But whatever that looks like for you or having these products that really serve you on a daily basis. So I just like this idea of releasing we put so much rigidity around everything. I feel like, right? It
Mm.
has to look like this or else you're not doing it right, or it has to look like this or you're not going to feel better. What I'm hearing, maybe this is really resonating with me. What does it look like for me? Stephanie,
Yes.
I hear
And
you
it's
saying
one
for
small
me.
step, right? And
Yeah,
it's what is it for you? And what's one small thing you can do? Maybe it's
right.
literally just taking a break in between work calls and breathing, taking 5 deep breaths. I mean, seriously, it could just be that, right? And for me, sometimes it's what I do. I take an Asutra mist, an aromatherapy mist, and I spritz it 3 times and I just breathe deeply 5 times and I inhale the lavender scent and it calms me down. Or maybe it's, oh, I need to get more sleep. So I'm going to go to bed 15 minutes earlier. I mean, it can be something as small as that. I think what we've discovered in talking to our customers is when they take that first small step, they then feel better. And then they're like, oh, I think I'm going to try this second thing. And then they feel even better. And it becomes this really positive momentum builder in their own self care.
Yeah, and I think you become what it sounds like too in that journey, you can even become more aware about what you need if you're trying to not make it fit into a certain thing. So for me, one of the things that's come up recently, I moved to a new place and I've been having trouble sleeping. And, I talked to my business coach about it. I'm like, it bothers me because then during the day, at a certain point, I feel like I hit a wall when normally when I had a good night's sleep. And she mentioned, if you have time, why don't you schedule just half an hour or an hour a day in your schedule moving, forward where you take a nap. And I'm
Yep.
like, "Oh, right, because I can do that, right?" So I get that that's not accessible to everyone, but I'm like, actually, I needed to wait a couple weeks out because I had stuff booked, but I was like, "I am gonna put in time in there while I'm in this particular place because this is what I need right now," and it changed everything for me. The
I
little
love that.
short bit of just whether you go to sleep or not, just I need to take some time during the day where it's a break when I start to feel that crash because I'm not sleeping at night. Now I am gonna change my situation so I can sleep better at night, but until then, this is what self-care looks like for me.
Well, and actually, Elaine, I love that you're napping because there's so much research that shows that a short nap in the afternoon or late morning is actually really great for you. So
Oh,
if you feel like you need it, to your point, you know, block 30 minutes or an hour on your calendar. And even if you only end up napping for 15 minutes, it's so good. Like we have this, as I think you know, Asutra makes this silk sleep mask. It blocks out all light. It's weighted. It
yeah. Do you
has,
want me to grab mine?
sure.
Yes.
And then take a nap.
I love exactly.
So
Just so everyone knows,
my
I
point is,
love Asutra products.
you love it. Oprah loves it. It's on
Oprah
Oprah's
loves
favorite
it.
things.
Absolutely.
And what's so great about it for napping is it blocks out all the light. It's got lavender and flaxseed, so it's weighted. It's got the aromatherapy, and it just kind of helps you relax. So even if it's bright outside, you can put that mask on and get a little rest at 11:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the afternoon. But I love that. I think napping, science has shown napping is really good for your brain and your
Even if
body.
it's yes, it's napping, and even if you're not going to go into a deep sleep, because you usually wanna set
Right.
the time where you get up. However, even for me, that time away from screen or that time away from noise or talking or whatever it is a good interruption for the day. I'm all for it. Now, you mentioned Miss Oprah. Of course, Asutra products are on
The
her list. I think it's
original
been a couple.
influencer.
Exactly. I love that, the original influencer. But her list of Oprah's favorite thing Asutra's been on a couple of years, right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
this is a crazy story, but Oprah never used a sleep mask until she discovered Asutra's. And the other thing I learned, which I thought was amazing, was her team sources all the products that she
Yeah.
then puts on her list, but she personally tries and selects every single one. So
Mhm.
she is truly approving the products that go on her Oprah's favorite things list each holiday. So yeah, she tried our mask and, you know, in her Oprah voice, she's like, and we have this video of her doing it on our Instagram, but she's like, I just get the most resonant sleep when I use that
Because
sleep
resonant
mask. And I was
sleep
like,
is always
resonant
the
sleep.
goal. Exactly. You're like,
But
"Yes,
yes,
Oprah, resonant sleep is what we were thinking.
yes,
Design this." I love
exactly.
it. Well, that's Oprah's favorite thing, but I want to share my favorite product,
Okay.
not the original influencer. The influencer of 2025 in this moment will just claim myself as that. The Melt Pain Away Magnesium Body Butter.
Mm,
So I might have get it, grab it. Go ahead,
I
Stephanie.
know. Look
Grab
at
it.
this. I have
Yes.
one in my office on my shelf
Let me
at
tell
all
you,
times.
I know. So this is a quick personal aside. I'm in Mexico. So what I tend to do with all of my favorite product, yours, the lip bar, the honey pot, there's a few brands that, especially
Love
ones,
it.
of course, I love brands founded or created by, led by women. I buy them and I get them sent either to my friends who are coming to Mexico. It's their cost of entry to the country. They bring me stuff from the States.
Nice.
Or
Love it.
when I go back, I just did recently, I get stuff and I bring it here. But am I able to get Sutra products here in Mexico, or do I keep up with what I'm doing?
Yeah,
That's
you
my
probably
melt
need to
pain
keep
away.
for Melt Pain Away, you need to keep doing what you're doing. We do
Okay.
sell a few Asutra products on Amazon Mexico, but I don't think they allow Melt Pain Away because it's a pain reliever.
Mhm.
And so there's like different rules and regulations in Mexico and the
Okay,
US.
got
Yeah.
it. So you all will know this is how serious I am about this product. I needed to ask the owner of the company, is there another way for you to get it? But I'm fine to do that. But
I like your cost of entry approach though. That's a good
listen,
one.
if you come visit me, don't tell me, Stephanie, because I'll be like, great, give me your address.
Yeah.
These are all the things that will be showing up at your door. Please pack an extra suitcase. I'm happy to pay for extra luggage. I'm telling all my friends, they know it. They know it. So, and all of them now know all my favorite products because they're like, send me the such and such today and that kind of thing. But
Love
I
it.
remember using the product. So I had a back injury. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but it wasn't even a back injury. It just, the chiropractor said it's one of those things that happen. I
Mm.
was putting into the dishwasher and my back did something it had never done before, and after that, I couldn't even move, and I was going through all these problems, and then as an athlete, I've had, knee pain here and there, I've been
Yep.
played basketball when I was younger, so I've used it. I've used it then, Melt Pain Away, I should mention the product again, use the magnesium product because a chiropractor recommended that I get magnesium to help with the pain.
Nice.
Yeah, she recommended she just said magnesium, and the ones that I tried before, I will say, there was, like, a burning and stinging
Mm,
with them
mhm.
that I don't experience with your product that I really love, in addition to the pain relief. Not in the same way where it feels like, "I don't wanna use this,"
Yeah.
versus this one is more of a body butter. I put it on my back. I've used it on my knee. I think when you came to Martha's Vineyard, Stephanie and your husband came, right? When you
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Martha's
Yeah.
Vineyard, I think that was 2021, so
Mm.
lovely, they supported me and came, and in the middle of the thing, I'm like, "Let me just tell you about Mount." It's so great for your knees. So I truly, honestly, as does Oprah, love the product. But tell me, what is it though about that specific product? I know it's one of your most popular that really works for most people.
Well, I think I mean, honestly, you just described so much of it so well. So it's got magnesium in it, which is so great for over 400 healthy body processes, one of which is relieving aches and pains. And because it's a body butter, you can put it on wherever you need it. You can target that relief. So for me, I store tension in my neck. I love giving myself a little neck massage. Similarly, I sometimes get back pain, so I like to massage it in there. Or after a hard workout, it's great for recovery. Venus Williams, our part owner and business partner, actually uses it at night to prevent aches and pains from waking her up, which I thought was such a great tactic. But the other thing that's in it is a botanically based FDA approved pain reliever called capsaicin, which is derived from chili peppers. So when you put it on, to your point, no stinging, no burning, but you actually get this gentle, warming, soothing sensation, kind of like a heating pad without having to be plugged into the wall. And you can use it on the go. So you've got that magnesium to revitalize you. You've got that capsaicin for warming pain relief, like using a heating pad without having to be tethered to the wall. And it feels like a beauty product. So instead of like an icky ointment or gel where you smell like a medicine cabinet, it's got a light lemongrass scent from essential oil. And it goes in and hydrates your skin like a body butter.
And you can use it every day.
You can use it every day. You can use it multiple times a day. Yeah. So when you use it, I find I get a few hours of relief from it, which is great. I also, after hearing Venus's tip, I also like to use it at night because then
That's
it
a good
just
idea.
soothes you and you can sleep better because sometimes it's the aches and pains that wake us up at night, right? And so
Mhm.
if you can sort of avoid those from the get go, then you can get that resonant sleep that Oprah
That's
talks
right.
about.
That's right. Now, you mentioned a couple of times your business partner, Venus Williams. Tell everyone, if you all go back to episode 751, we talked about this then. However, we have new people listening and people come in all the time. And just for a refresher, tell us how. Well, you know what? Actually, let's go back. Earlier, you even mentioned where you loved the product so much you bought the company, which a
Mhm.
lot of, let's not skip past that. So
Whoop.
that's people probably like, wait, did she say? Yes, she did. So tell us how you, in short and brief, how you decided that you were in a place that this I want to buy a company, then this became the company, and then how that came about.
Yeah, I just really felt like all my life, I think I've been dedicated to doing things that help people get the most out of their lives and do more than they ever thought that they could. And I really love the idea of, I've always been an entrepreneurial person, but I also know that I'm not a startup person. Like, I'm not the person to take a concept into reality 0 to 10. I like to go from, 10 to 20 to 50 to 100. So I like to take something with some proof of concept and scale it. And therefore, the idea of starting a business from scratch didn't appeal to me, but the idea of buying a small business that I could grow was really enticing. And it just felt like fate because I was using these products. I had come to love Asutra products as part of my self care routine. And then I met somebody who said, "Hey, I just heard this wellness products company is for sale. It might be right up your alley." And it turned out to be Asutra. I mean, total coincidence, serendipity, you might say.
Right.
So I thought, all right, this feels like destiny. And I looked at it, did all my due diligence, and I thought some really great products, but also a lot of things that we can do differently to improve and grow the business. And that's what led me to buy it. And I wanted to also, honestly, I wanted to not only make products that really help people feel better so they can do the things they love, but also create and lead a culture and a team in a very different way. Like we take self-care on your terms very seriously at a sutra for our employees too. Like we make sure people do have time to take care of themselves in the ways that they need so they can be their best selves. And it's not just some woo woo thing. It really does make everybody so much better at their jobs, right? If you're feeling great, you're going to be more creative. You're going to think of better solutions. You're going to be more engaged in the work that you're doing every day.
What you mentioned that you knew that you're not, you know that you're not the 0 to 10 person to start a business from scratch, but 10 to 20, 50, and so on. You are that person to grow and to scale, which you have showed, which you have done. How did you learn that which kind of person you were, which kind of entrepreneur you were for all the entrepreneurs listening?
When I was little, I used to dream up these businesses I wanted to start. I remember I had a girlfriend who was the same. And so we would like make perfumes and, at home in our kitchens and do all these things. So I always knew I kind of had that entrepreneurial spirit, but for me, I like getting stuff done. And I think so much of the startup phase is dreaming up the concept and honing the concept. And I just know that I like the execution part more. I love setting strategy. I love having a vision and rallying people around that vision and mission. But for me, it's more about like, okay, let's get our hands dirty and get some stuff done. And so that's how I think I came to the realization that I'm not the startup person, the dreamer, the concept person, but rather like, let's take something that's already going and figure out how to grow it.
So really knowing yourself too. Like
Yeah,
where am I best? Where do I so this way, just like we said about self-care on your terms, sort of what works best for you. It doesn't have to look a certain way for you to start your own business. There might be a business you can partner with. There might be a business you can acquire. There are all kinds of ways to have your impact if entrepreneurship is your path.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So tell us about then encountering, acquiring, if that's the right word, partnering with is probably better, Venus Williams.
Well, I have to say, she probably acquired us, is the better way
Yes.
to put it, in that if you go back and listen to our original episode when we first met, you
Yes.
know that Venus Williams had her team cold call us at Asutra. So we weren't looking for a celebrity partner. I mean, I had just bought the business. We were learning everything around production, brand, how those things were sold, the different channels, everything. And there was a lot going on. Um, and one of the things that came in through the inbox was a cold email from somebody saying, "Hey, I'm writing on behalf of somebody, and I can't say who it is, but we really love your products, and I'd love to learn more about your business." And I ended up taking the call. I almost didn't, but I ended up taking the call, and I'm so glad I did.
Right, because you said you weren't sure if it was real, like, "What is
Real?
this?"
Is this like a
Right,
spam thing?
right.
And then I get on the phone, and we're having this great conversation, and I finally ask, "Well, can you tell me who you're calling on behalf of?" And he says, "Well, you're probably not gonna believe this, but Venus Williams discovered your pain relief cream on Amazon, fell in love with it, had never heard of you, and said, 'Call this brand and figure out if there's something we can do together.'" So the woman sat down with us for over an hour before the US Open, which I've since learned she never does. Like, usually when she was playing tennis, she would just be in the zone.
Mhm.
But she sat down with us. We had to go to this like secret conference room in the back of a hotel so nobody saw her. And we had an amazing conversation. And she decided she wanted to join the team as a part owner and help us grow the brand and the business. So she's been awesome as a partner. I mean, everything from helping us dream up new products to doing press interviews to most recently, she dropped in on a segment I was doing on QVC in
Oh,
February.
nice.
Yeah, and she started talking about all the reasons she loves the Sutra and our magnesium products, and we ended up selling out
Of
that night.
course,
Yeah.
yes. So if you don't buy it because I said so, buy it
Yeah.
because Venus says so.
Exactly,
I love it.
exactly.
So tell me about QVC was something I'm so of course, we're in touch. I feel like I'm in touch with people when I am virtually. I follow and all those things. So I see you on LinkedIn and all the great things that you're doing. And I love seeing you featured as well, the
Mhm.
leader of the brand, and even just talking about self-care and all the things that you do and that you share. One of the things I was excited to see, though, is the brand is now on QVC. So tell me about
Yeah.
and you were
Well,
the person talking about it.
right. So we've learned a lot, Elaine. I mean, just one to take one step back to your point, what is it, 5 years ago now in 2020 when
Mhm.
we last talked, our strategy at the time, as you may recall, was we already had a good business on Amazon and we wanted to grow into retail. And so we were really focused on raising both awareness and growing sales in mass retail channels. And we did. We got into all Target stores. We were in Walgreens. We started working with some more specialty natural channels as well, like iHerb or Thrive Market. But honestly, what we learned doing it, we had some great sales, we had some great growth, but what we didn't have was millions of dollars of outside capital. We've bootstrapped this thing.
Mhm.
And the big lesson learned was without tens of millions of dollars of outside capital, it's actually really hard to succeed in mass retail because you just need to have the money to advertise enough, buy the right shelf space, and get people to the stores to buy. Um,
Is it
it
also the
didn't
way those companies pay? vendors as well for her
Exactly.
to,
The
to
cash
wait for
flow.
you? Right.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like you're
Mhm.
investing in inventory, but they don't pay you till 60 days later. You have
Right.
to pay a lot of fees to even get on the shelf. And it just wasn't, it was hard. It was really hard for us to manage. And on the flip side, what we were seeing is we got this opportunity to go on QVC. It was starting to grow organically of its own accord, real demand. We were having sellout segments. People really got excited about the product when I went on air. And we saw that Amazon was continuing to grow at a healthy clip. So we've actually pivoted our strategy this year and we're doubling down on the things that are working. So we're focused on growing Amazon sustainably. We're focused on growing QVC sustainably. And then we're really investing in pretty significantly growing our D2C, our website sales. But yeah, QVC has been incredible, I would say, for two things. One, huge volume. I mean, I go on air for 8 or 10 minutes, and in 10 minutes, sometimes we've sold more than we used to sell in Target in a month. I mean,
Mm.
crazy. Like, it's crazy when you really see the loyal QVC customers. I mean, they are watching, they love new stuff. And if they resonate with a
That
brand
word
or a
again.
product, man,
Yeah.
they call, they're online, they're on the app, and they are buying. It's
Right.
amazing.
And then is it better because once it sells out when you're watching QVC, then, until the next segment, et cetera, you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to get all this product ahead of time, and that the whole thing that you mentioned with regular retail. What is the difference that you've seen now other than selling out in 10 minutes, which is awesome? But what is the difference that made you say, you know what, we need to, like you said, I always tell people this, double down on what's working, double down on this, as opposed to, is it the terms and how it works as far as product to customer and that kind of thing as well?
Think for QVC, it's actually more about it's a really great halo effect on other channels. So there's a real flywheel, right? You go on air, sell thousands or tens of thousands of units in a single, say, 10-minute segment. And
Mhm.
then people also become more aware of Asutra and the brand and the products in general. So a lot of people obviously are buying on QVC, but others may not buy it on QVC. But now that they've learned about you, they go and buy it on Amazon or they go and buy it on our website. So every time I'm on air, we always see a lift in sales on our other channels, particularly Amazon and our website, because some people just want to buy on other channels, right? They like to buy on Amazon, or they want to buy directly from the brand, or they want to
Mhm.
check out other products and buy those as well. So I would say that's been the biggest benefit, is this lift in awareness in general, as well as the sales volume. And then on the terms, we still have to invest in the inventory in advance, and then they pay us after they receive it. But what I will say is what's been great about QVC is there's a real collaboration in the partnership. So we do a planning call with our buyer, and we're planning, like right now, we're planning Q1 of next year. And they're saying, all right, this is what we're going to commit to in terms of the inventory we want to buy. We can work with them on when we deliver it so that it works for our manufacturing schedule, our cash flow. And, they're willing to work with us. It's like, oh, we need to move this by 2 weeks, or we need to change this little thing. And they're super open to that as long as it makes sense for the total business.
Mhm. So more of a collaboration as opposed to these
Yeah,
terms and this is what it is. You get to be a part of the
exactly. Right.
conversation.
Target's like, this is how it is. Take it
Right.
or leave it.
Can you meet
Whereas
it or not?
QVC, yeah, we can
Yeah.
have that dialogue.
And a lot of brands, I shouldn't say a lot of the favorites that I mentioned earlier, brands that I follow, like, how am I going to get this now since I don't shop at such and such store anymore? I'll just leave it
Mhm.
at that, right? That's my own personal choice. That's the way I still get my
Yes.
stuff. I still get my things though, right? So I've been going directly to brands, like you said,
Mhm.
D2C, directly to the websites and those kind of things, which I know can sometimes take longer for shipping or, not saying this is the case with the Sutra, but we just make allowances for what it is so that we can still support these brands and give the amount of time that they need to get the products to us. That said, have you found that you are, since you're focusing also on the sales through your website, that there has been any difference in how the consumer is purchasing from you? Have you noticed that, like you said, people go through these different channels. Now they're not going as much in store. They're going more directly to your website. Have you made any changes to make sure you all can accommodate that? What does that look like?
I think interestingly, not just for Asutra, but in general, we've noticed that people just don't shop in stores as much anymore. And
Mhm.
talking to other brand founders, they've said the same thing. It used to be that you could discover a lot of people would discover a new brand or a new product while browsing in a store. But I think nowadays people are
You're
so
not
used to
going up and down the
Amazon,
aisles, right?
they're so pressed for time that they're just in and out. I'm going to get my groceries, my toilet paper, whatever, and then I'm out. Or I order it online and then I pick it up in the parking lot. And so there's not that same discovery time allotted to shopping in a store aisle. And then, as you alluded to, some retailers have made choices that I think really pissed a lot of people off, to be honest, including us.
Exactly. We don't go there anymore. Yep.
And so, people don't shop there anymore. So we've seen that as a trend in general, which is why I think we also decided let's pivot and let's just meet people where they are.
Yeah.
So we've invested in advertising a lot more on social media because that is where people are and telling our story. It's kind of like taking the 10-minute QVC segment and putting it into a 30-second video that you see on Instagram or Meta or Facebook, where someone can see, oh, like that's interesting. Yeah, I do have back pain. Or yeah, I do have aches and pains like restless legs before I sleep. I've never heard of this product, or that sounds really good. Let me give it a shot. And we have worked really hard in our warehouse where we fulfill our own orders to make sure that we're still delivering timely. We're providing excellent customer service. Like that's another thing we really believe in is we go above and beyond for our customers. If you didn't like it, if you have questions on how to get the most out of something, whatever, we will do everything in our power to either make it right to you if we need to, or, give you tips, give you advice on how you can use the product on your own terms.
How large is the company at this point?
So we've stayed pretty small in terms of staff, which is an intentional choice on my part. We're only about 10 full-time employees because I don't like dealing with HR.
Right. Like 10, that's amazing.
I know.
I
Everyone's
went
like,
to almost with 10 people to Greece the other,
I know.
like a couple weeks ago. That's a nice,
They were like, how do you
small
do
but
everything you
mighty team.
do with so few people? But it's like we just have the core. Like we have a core group of people who do the key things, and it's almost like we're a family in a good way. Like it's chosen family. We all
Yeah.
believe in the mission. We play key roles, and we work together without drama. And then each of us also manages or works with a whole network of outside agencies, whether it's, we have a third party logistics firm that fulfills all our QVC orders for us. They kit things and pack them the right way and ship them off to QVC. We have marketing agencies of different kinds. We have an agency that manages our Amazon business with my leadership, like agencies that help us with all these different aspects, fractional CFO and accounting team. So what the benefit is one, we don't have to deal with all the people stuff that comes with having, 50, 100 people or what have you. But two, we get really specialized expertise. And frankly, it's lower cost, right? Because they're working with a set of clients, not just us. So we have a top-notch fractional CFO. We have a top-notch account manager helping us with our Amazon. We have an amazing a creative director who helps us with all of our D2C advertising and analysis. So that's really helped us, I think, scale and have the right group of people working with us without having to also, frankly, find and hire all the people that you need. Because sometimes that's the real obstacle too to growth.
Right, right. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's important for anyone listening who, whether within an organization or certainly an entrepreneur, just to hear, as we talked about in the beginning, how can you do this on your own terms? Yeah, like, I don't like HR, so we're going to use 10 people. We're going to make this happen. I love it, right? But just look at all that you've done, or for everyone listening to listen and hear all that has been able to be accomplished with that kind of team, with that kind of intention, and being thoughtful about what do you want this to look like within your organization. I love it. So, Stephanie, what are you excited about when you think about the future of Asutra?
I think for us, the digital marketing agency I just mentioned, who's helped us create all of these great ads for social media and reach many more people. They started working with us. Let's see, what is this, July? So they started working with us about 5 months ago. And already they've helped us triple our daily sales on our website. And that's the goal by the end of the year, is to at least triple, if not quadruple, our website sales. And that's been incredible because think the biggest thing for us working in retail that was hard is we didn't get to talk to our customers directly, right? The end user. We talked to a retailer, but we weren't talking to the person walking down the aisle and putting it in their cart. And that's what's so great about QVC or our D2C website is we have more direct engagement with our customers. So one of the things I'm most excited about is really growing the community of people who are a part of our Asutra family, who are using our products, who are telling us what they love about them, telling us what we can improve, telling us what more they want in terms of new products. And I think having a bigger and more engaged community that we can learn from, but also we can learn from each other.
Do you think the increase in sales daily, because that's a big jump. That congratulations on that.
Yeah.
That you now have no, that's great. That's great. A lot of people aren't doing that. So do you think the key has been that you are more in touch with the consumer, or that I know too, people are shopping a lot more from social media too, something I never used to do, but now I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
can buy it right here from Instagram and get it in my
I know.
yeah. So
Crazy,
what do
right?
you
I know.
think?
I bought a sundress the other day from
I
Instagram. I was like, I'm never this person, but I bought it, and I was like, oh,
but
it's actually
clearly I
the
am
one
this
I
person.
love.
Right.
Yeah, I am this person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do think the social media ads have been the biggest driver of growing the number of people that we've been able to reach. To your point, people are on social media, so it's about meeting people where they are, but also having the right story. Right, telling the right story so that somebody stops the scroll and is like, "Oh, that looks really interesting. I want to learn more about it." And then, tactically, obviously making sure everything's all integrated. So when they click on the ad, they're going to a page where they're like, oh, I get to learn more about this. I can have all my objections answered. And this is something that I want to give a shot. So our agency has been so helpful in helping us figure out how to do all of that and build it the right way. But social media has definitely been a big driver of growing our consumer base on our website.
I could talk to you forever about business and all these things that have told me more. I mean, I know I would just hours and hours just because it's fascinating. One, because of having talked to you 5 years ago and seeing the growth and seeing where you are now and just some of the behind the scenes. I didn't know the team. I didn't think the team was huge, but I didn't know it was like me and my cousins. I love it. It's great. It's great
That's kind
though.
of how we feel
I
too. It is kind of like
yeah,
me and
because you
our
really
cousins.
get to know, right? It's fascinating. I love it. So tell everyone how they can find out more about Asutra, get any products, Melt Pain Away, the sleep mask that Oprah loves, all the things. What's the best way to find out about that
Well,
and to follow you? I suggest everyone
yeah.
follow Stephanie also. She has
Oh, thank
great
you.
content. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Well, absolutely. So obviously, as I just said, we're really focused on growing the sales on our website so that we can engage with our customers directly. So if you're interested, please go to our website, which is asutra.com, asutra.com. If you do see our ads on Instagram or Facebook, click on it. It's going to take you to a special landing page that gives you a lot more information about Melt Pain Away and special deals too,
Mhm.
so that you can save money on your first order. And then, of course, we're on Instagram as well at asutra.life. And then I personally am also on Instagram and LinkedIn under Stephanie Morimoto. And I always love to connect with our customers and our Asutra family directly.
Excellent. And you'll see me in the comments. If you go there, I'm always like, that's Stephanie. That's great. Oh my
I
gosh. I
love
love
it. I love
it.
it.
It's great. Stephanie, thank you so much. Hold on one second.